are the dream for New Africa. Remember, Martin Luther King. Who are the dream for New America? They say you are black, they say you are brown, they say them white, they say you are brown. But only the angels of God is white now. Only the angels of God is white. So long, too long, so long, it's too long. Say, we've been sitting down for so long. We've been fooled around for too long. Arise from your sleep, Africa. Arise from your sleep, America. Yes, what to be done, Africa.
There is always one thing that I want us to understand each time we hear questions like this being asked.
Night, we will be free so long.
For so long,
So long,
the question of how long,
too long.
how soon,
America
when exactly,
is what to be done, Africa. Yes,
the question of at what point,
America. If we unite, we will
when exactly,
long. Just too long.
when should we expect, when would we experience, when will the nation begin to see,
We've been fooled around for too long.
begin to enjoy
We've been sitting down for so long.
what many have called the true dividends of democracy?
So long, for too long, too long.
So each time I come with this question of so long, of how long we've been waiting,
Oh Lord,
of when exactly are we going to get it right, of when exactly are the citizens of Nigeria begin to enjoy what they call the freedom and dividends of democracy,
remember, long time
free education, free healthcare services,
we will be
free transportation, adequate security, low price of goods and commodities at the market.
We've been seated down for so long. We've been fooled around for
Because oftentimes we do compare ourselves to what they call saner climes or greener pastures or what they call outside world or Western countries as they call it.
too long.
And when people do some comparison, they say they are better off than here in Nigeria. But the question is, what is it going to take us to be just like them or better than them or close to them? Equity and justice,
Remember,
transparency and accountability.
when we
Many have said, how or when are we going to see that come into full manifestation in a country like Nigeria?
used to live like prince and princess. Remember, Marcus Garvey.
And each time questions like these come up or pops up,
Remember, Martin Luther King.
what comes to mind majorly in the minds of many Nigerians is that
They say that
the government of the day
they say you are wrong,
has a lot to do.
but all
The government of the day
white,
is to be held accountable in so many cases.
the God is white.
In achieving that, the government must do this, must do that, must do some certain things.
Say, we've been seated,
Well, while it might be right to say that,
we've been fooled around.
while it might be fair to say that in ensuring that democracy is firm and rooted in Nigeria, the government needs to do more, need to rule according to the constitution, need to follow the rule of law,
So long,
need to govern with humanity, need to be responsible to the people. While it is fair to say that, one thing I also want us to understand in all of this is that we as a people, we as those who are being ruled and being governed, we also have a role to play, or some roles to play.
long time
We have responsibilities to carry on.
used to live
We have duties to perform. As citizens, as residents, it is expected of us to as well live by these rules that govern the country. The rules are there for us, all in the public space. Note that most of these problems and challenges are quite minor, and if we can just do things the right way we should do them, there will be less of a noise. If we can just come together, as a people, and then do what is expected of us to do, then our agitation to hold accountable, or to call for justice, transparency, as many activists and justice seekers do, that move to do that would then be effective. Many have observed or suggested that while people seek, better Nigeria, most of who are seeking better Nigeria are not doing things better or in a better way. Probably that is why the better Nigeria is yet to come. I'll give just one example. It is the rainy season and there is flooding, or there have been predictions of flood, projections that flooding may ravage some communities. And I noticed that almost every year, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, that's the agency in charge of all of this erosion, flooding, and all of these things, make these predictions, make proactive measures. But it's so unfortunate that some residents find it easy. As a matter of fact, it has become a norm in some part of Nigeria that when it is raining, that is a time where you dump your refuse, throwing it through the erosions to sweep it away, forgetting that it's going somewhere and probably it's going to block some drainage ways. And when the drainage ways are blocked, it would make it difficult for water to flow. And then it begins to enter houses, enter places, and you begin to hear noise. Noises all around the places. And after which we call the government.
We will be free so long.
Even though the environmental agencies of the government, both state and federal levels, have made several interventions to call our attention as people to other in terms of dumping refuses. That's why we have so many alternatives. There are dump sites, there are ways you can manage your waste. Just yesterday we had the Chief Press Secretary to the governor, where he was saying that there are dino bins all around the places where, appropriate waste can be dumped appropriately. So I just want to say, in essence, that while we call on the government to do the needful, we also should do what is expected of us to do as a people. Then it will make sense. It would be, nice to, by all means, at all costs, demand what is best and right for this great nation. Well, that's a little chat this morning for everyone listening to Adamimogo 107.7 FM Ido Ekiti. It is another Tuesday edition of the follow-up right here from our studios here in Olojudo in Ido Ekiti. The follow-up is where we keep tabs and follow up on events as they unfold in our political space. We find questions to some answers, we give in-depth analysis, and we engage policymakers, strategic leaders to help us, make sense of all of this political and current happenings. My name is Oladoyin Ayegbusi. Welcome once again to the follow-up. An 18 awarded rural route that's farm to market. What this means is that, through the ramp, there's the road construction of about 18, that's over 1,000 kilometers, which will aid the distribution of farm produce to the market. Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, entered yesterday on the possibility of increments of salaries of public of President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, senators, ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And according to the chairman of that commission, that is Mr. Muhammad Shehu, that their current salary is not tenable and unrealistic. One send a had given the Oni of Ife a 48 hours ultimatum to revoke the Okonlomo of Yoruba land chieftaincy title that was conferred on an Ibadan business tycoon, engineer Dotun Sanusi. So these developments has generated several reactions, but however, the spokesperson of the Oni of Ife, Oba Eni Togunwusi, has explained that the monarch will not react to the 48 hours threat, and that it disclosed this on a Facebook page, and particularly directed him to ignore the revered Oyo monarch. So that when issues like this begin to happen in a country like ours, especially in the Yoruba land, it's something that is quite disturbing, and seeing the two big, let me put it that way, traditional rulers in Yoruba having this back and forth. It's quite concerning, honestly. Well, these issues will be looking at getting reactions to them on this show this morning, as we'll be connecting with a public affairs analyst to help us make sense of all of this development. We'll go for this break now. When we return, we'll begin our conversation. Please stay with us.
Hello, good people of Ekiti State and its environment. For your private, political, family, or club meetings, and so on, of not more than 50 to 100 participants, we introduce to you Adamimogo Event Hall. Yes! Right at Oladoyin Palace, Adamimogo 107.7 FM's compound, Ido Ekiti. Ample parking space, good security, clean environment. You also have the opportunity to book for a media publicity of your event on our fast-growing social media platforms. All these for a talking. Simply visit us at Oladoyin Palace, Ido Ekiti, or call the following numbers for more inquiries: 0803 526 5812 or 0916 340 0878 or 0806 511 4430. You can also call 0806 380 8891 at Adamimogo Event Hall. We are waiting for your patronage.
From that break, a couple of issues we'll be looking into this morning, as we are now being joined by a public affairs analyst, Mr. Gabriel Abiodun, who is connecting with us virtually this morning. Good morning and welcome to the follow-up.
Good morning to our people's FM. I think so Adamimogo FM. I'm sorry to say that that's wrong. And I want to greet each and every one of you in that studio. I'm glad to be with you this morning, and then God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you so much. Now let's just go straight into it. You've been in Ekiti. I want to believe you've been in Ekiti for a couple of years now, and you've been following the political issues in the state, governance, development, and all of those, the dynamics basically of the state. And just last week there was the dissolution of cabinet, and now we now see the recall of one of the members of that cabinet, the Commissioner for Information. Well, there are those who are raising some certain concerns, asking that why, if the Commissioner for Information is to be recalled, why was it dissolved in the first place? But however, we've also had conversations around it here, and it has been said that it is not a new thing to dissolve cabinet. As a matter of fact, President Bola Tinubu reshuffled his cabinet. Some other state governors have also done that. But the concern many are raising is, why is it going this way in the state? Perhaps we begin by getting your thought on that.
There's nothing bad in shoveling cabinet when you realize that those legs are tired and they can no longer kick football very well. So you can at least recruit a very new one so that at least you have a better team to actually show that you are good to go as a leader. But the only aspect where I fought the decision of the governor in the first place is that the time now, because this is high time that the man is supposed to be building a team, a formidable team that will give him a second chance in office from 2026. But doing what he's been able to do right now actually shows me that the man doesn't understand what it takes to actually build a formidable team, because you don't need division. All you need is addition at this perilous time that we needed to build that team. But having you sending some people parking, then you think that these people will not go and form a coalition against you, and then giving them this sense of excommunication that they can go to wherever they want to go. This is not the time for it. If actually going by estimation and calculation of the governor. So I think that's the only area whereby I decided to think, in my own perspective, that this is not the time for that kind of rigid or reshuffling of cabinet.
So you think this might be implicatory towards 2026?
It will have a serious adverse effect on him. He might not know now, because when you are looking for what I call a game of matches, game of number, this is high time that the man is supposed to be thinking on how he will be using that method called addition and not subtraction, or not any cross multiplication. He should just use the advantage of additional, and that is the best way to go, because it's only people with upper number that will be given the trophy at the end of the day. That is it, my brother.
Well, he has recalled one of them now, and don't you think that is also to mend some certain areas? Don't you think that's, to avoid some of the things that you...
Calling commissioner for information.
Right.
Place, there should be any lacuna in that regard. He is not supposed to actually relieve this man of his position in the first place, because a government without information dissemination is as good as somebody who is having eyes but doesn't have mouth to speak. So I think it's high time Mr. Governor learn from antecedent and know that the office of information should not be closed even within just 1 hour. If that office is not actually understand what politics is all about.
So you think that in terms of team gathering, the governor is not probably getting it right in that area?
He's not getting it right. The reason why he's been able to get that a little bit is because he doesn't have a strong opposition that will also oppose his decision. And that is why he's been able to do it without any effects now. But it will definitely affect him if actually we were having a strong opposition.
But many will say that for some persons who believe that there is no big deal, the governor is the #1 citizen of the state and he has the right to do his dissolution. Many would want to say that there is no implication. He has the structure of the state, the party, and all of those things. And there might not be an implication for doing such a thing.
You know one thing, though, if somebody is doing something and then you are running a private company, you can do whatever you like. But in this same climate that we are having, this political dispensation that we are having, nobody does that and then God free with whatever decision is taken that is negating the ideas of politics. So what he has doing shows that Mr. Governor is missing his calculation. He's not getting it right. I don't know who is advising him. But I think I will tell him if I am sitting down one-on-one with him that, sir, you are getting virtually everything wrong at this time. He has the template, the mainframe, everything is okay. But there are some machineries that will help you with the numbers you are having at the end of the day. If you are not getting this right, it means you are going to get things wrong at the end of the day. So I think Mr. Governor should just sit down and have a rethink before you take any decision right now. Let me tell you, 24 hours is just like a journey from here to Lagos. And if you make any mistake, it means you might not arrive at your destination.
But there are those who believe that this might not be political, probably governance, the need for rejigging, the need for, performance review and all of those things. And it has nothing to do with politics.
It has to do with politics, Johnny. It has a lot because the office Mr. Governor is occupying has a political underlying before he assumed that office. So everything in that office has to do with politics. Bringing just and then there is still a say here that to be up and doing in disseminating some information concerning the governor to the populace. I think that office also should not be vacant. That office should actually be occupied by a personnel who is competent enough that will be telling the world, all the people of the state, what and what to do next. So it has a implication if this man is not getting things right at this perilous time, able to achieve a time away within a tickle of an hour. So I am just, because of my love for Ekiti, I want peace in Ekiti. I want tranquility in Ekiti. I want everything to go smoothly in Ekiti. I don't want any problem. Even though Ekiti is happening to be a one-party state, I don't care. But my case is peaceful. I want us to enjoy the peaceful coexistence that we have enjoyed so far. So, and I don't want anything that will jeopardize that privilege. And that's why I'm saying all this out to Mr. Governor. I'm not on his payroll, but because I am a stakeholder in the state, and I care much about him, and I care much about my state, because this is my bedrock. And whosoever that want to have a sleep, meaning sleep, do not want to murder sleep by destroying his bedrock. So I don't want anything that will give us problems.
Because the reason why this has to come in is because you'd remember that about a few weeks ago, some of this, let's just say political aides, donated a sum of 10 million naira for the governor to purchase his nomination form. And yesterday, the Alumni Association of EXU, one of which Governor Abayomi Ibanji is a member or is a graduate or an alumnus of that school, also purchased that form from him in Abuja. And then many will say that there's no rift anywhere. There's no cause for alarm. Everything is fine. Look at the nomination and the donation and the form purchase. That's why I had to throw it again that it might not be political. It's just pure governance.
This is spontaneous. Somebody to say he's been able to purchase form for Mr. Governor, who actually the state resources and everything is in his position. It's in his form for Mr. Governor. I think you know me very well, and you know what I will be able to do. You know what I am capable of doing. That's what I'm trying to say. But transparency and accountability and integrity is the order of the day. I love Governor Oladoyin Ayegbusi, but if there is anything, I don't play with anybody who actually plays something I call abracadabra. The more you see the less you will continue to continue. I wish somebody will tell me that they purchased form for him. Let him tell us that he bought the form. Nobody is going to query him. Nobody is going to question him. But those people that are buying form for him, what are the interests? What are the interior motive behind purchasing a form for a sitting governor? Because then if I come to your house when you offer me something, even let me now go by the canal this morning. When Solomon was busy offering some oxen, sheep, cow, and so on and so forth to God, it got to a level God decided to ask Solomon, what do you want? So when somebody says they are purchasing from Mr. Governor, what is it that they want, that the public, because we are the one that sees the best, the quality in this man, before we say, okay, this man is good to go, we can vote him for second term. But some set of people are trying to hijack that because you are giving me gifts, and whosoever that is giving you a gift, you want to close your mouth because they will tell you, because Yoruba will say, so what is the motive behind purchasing a form for a sitting governor? Who the treasury of the state is in his disposal? So, I think I'm not subscribing to that. In my own estimation, I think calling it a political jingoism. And then we are playing to gallery, and then we are playing with our future. That is the truth, and we should not toy with it. We should not toy with it.
I want to read something to you. The immediate past president of the alumni, ex-alumni, who was speaking on behalf of those of the association, said, and I quote now, or I report, that his name is Dikpo Bamishaye, said, not minding the cost of the form, it was their desire to ensure that Oyebanji, who had not disappointed them during his first time in office, serves the second time as the Constitution provides. Many would say there's nothing wrong with that.
There are so many things these people will have spent their resources into in a space. If they want to, with these comments, let me tell you, I'm versatile, and I think I have my all ears virtually everywhere. I know what is going on in Ekiti. If Oladoyin Ayegbusi in his first tenure has been able to achieve at least 30%, a scorecard, that's what I'm giving to him, 30%, a total scorecard of him. And then some people have that huge amount of money. They have so many charity homes that these people can visit. We have aged people who are languishing in pain. We have so many dilapidated buildings of our classrooms that at least I believe this man supposed to have at least continue in that trend. If they put that money into it, the state economy, I think things will be better. And you know, anytime I appear on your show, I used to tell you about the rate at which things are being cost in this state. My dear brother, the ratio at which things are purchased in a city, it is alarming. In a state whereby it's a civil servant state, you will see landlords, they will be giving out a building over 1.something million by rent in a day.
Cost of building material.
I'm living in Adamimogo. I'm not trying to be weird.
Cost of
trying to tell you this.
The excuse will be cost of building materials now.
Hello, are you still with me?
Yes, I'm saying their excuse will be cost of building materials. This is not only a Ekiti thing. I'm just saying,
No. In Akure, go to Akure. Cost of living is not as much as what we are facing in Adamimogo here. Cost of living in Kwara State is not as expensive as what we are facing in Adamimogo here. But virtually all the roads that leads to some community are not very okay. Many people are struggling into their buildings because of the climate that we are facing right now. If actually anybody have interest in developing a city, they should come down here and donate the money to the end users. Not to some people that will channel the money into another place. Then please, I am pained with the way it is growing. Go to other states. I think I don't want to mention him right now. Go to places like Katsina State where I spent so many years. Go and check the primary schools there. Go and check their colleges there. I think I'm a product of government secondary school in Katsina State. And then the ABU's area. Please compare those two institutions I just mentioned. Those institutions, can you find such one in Ekiti here? At least we should copy good things from other states and then replicate the same thing in our own dear state. But we are not doing that. But what we're about busy doing is this one is this one is giving this one is doing that. They are doing just a talent charity. I call it a talent charity because it doesn't have a direct impact on the people. See, now just test what I'm trying to say now this morning. If you go there, just tell them that you want to stage a kind of charity donation to people. Just common supergating of how much? Let me say supergating is 1,200 naira. Tell them to come and have supergating of 1,200 naira. You will see a mammoth crowd that will engulf the whole place, and then you will not begin to imagine that what happened? Is it not 1,200 naira that virtually everybody wants to kill themselves? Somebody might want to even say maybe it's because some people are so conventional that whatever is free, they want to go for it. My dear brother, there is hunger in the land. So where will you be purchasing from of over 200 million naira for the seat of governorship? And then the people that want to govern, they are wallowing in abject poverty. No, then you just let us put it.
All right, we need to just, because of our time, we just need to go to other aspects because we cannot talk everything at once, especially when it has to do with the development of the states. Now, just this morning, we saw the report that political office holders are now to begin to receive increase in salary. As a matter of fact, they believe that salaries of political office holders are not tenable at this time. That's coming from the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission. Speaking through the chairman, that is the chairman, Mohammed Shehu, where he said that President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, senators, ministers should now begin to see increase in salaries. First of all, what do you make of this?
I am not happy with this announcement. Like, seriously, I'm not happy. Because a situation whereby the minimum wage of average Nigerian citizen is still at almost 70,000 naira daily. And how much is the president earning? About 1.5 million naira plus so many total take home that Mr. President is going to get at the end of the day after he's exposed to what I call freelance in all aspects. It is Nigerian that is buying his own food. It is Nigerian that is buying fuel inside his vehicle. It is Nigerian that is buying fuel inside the private jet that the president is flying. The house that the president is living is free of charge. And he's still earning 1.5 million naira. That is what they told us. But I believe Mr. President is receiving more than that. I can tell you averagely most Nigerians doesn't know what to eat today in this hour that we are into. They don't have common 1,000 naira that they will use to buy just ordinary rice to feed themselves. And somebody is enjoying all these luxuries and you are still begging for additional salary. Please. You see, one thing I want to tell you now is that Nigeria is driving towards what Kim Jong-un of Korea has been able to establish in that place. It's no longer a presidential system of government that we are having in Nigeria. It's a monarchical kind of government that we are having.
Well, that's your opinion, though. That's your opinion, though.
It's my opinion. It's no longer a leadership anymore. It has been transcended into the realm of rulership. Because a situation whereby you don't put the people that elected you in office in the cost consideration, and then you are considering more about yourself. A place whereby Nigerians are wallowing in other poverty, and then you are not clamoring that you want to have more salaries to yourself. Come on, Benny. We are heading towards that direction, whereby it is no longer a presidential system of government. Now it is now a monarchical. A king will rule, but when you have a president is supposed to be a leader. Our economy is not okay. How much is now naira to dollars? How much are we purchasing virtually essential commodities that we have within our disposals? A 1,000 naira can no longer cook those LBOGG. Then you want to prepare, maybe suddenly you arrive late at night, and then you're having 1,000 naira in your pocket. You want to mix up some things and then cook some soup. 1,000 naira can no longer do that for you. Don't you? I think the presidency and whoever that is making such move is an enemy of Nigeria and is not thinking well for this.
Mr. Gabriel, he's not coming from the presidency actually. So
I'm very sure that whoever that is bringing such idea. I'm not talking about presidency now.
All right.
Whosoever is the custodian of that idea is an enemy of this country. Is no longer our friend.
All right. Now let's take it this way. You would remember that when the minimum wage was about to be increased, the issue was that it is not tenable and not realistic, especially when we look at the economic situation of the country. It was at that period that fuel subsidy removal was pronounced, and the hardship was a bit hard and tensed. And now that now that we now have this issue coming up at this time, the argument is that since 2008, the political office holders have been receiving the same salary since 2008, and it is necessary for the review to be made to increase these salaries. But now that it is generating public outcry, what would you say should be done as an alternative?
I don't want to make a case for civil servants because you cannot eat your cake and have it. When Nigerians were rounding them to tell them it's high time they demand. Before you can talk about salary increment, you look at what the inflation rate is all about. You did not put the inflation rate of the country into consideration before you accepted that 70,000 naira minimum wage. And then you are not biting your fingers for the decision you made by yourself. Because I believe we are going to ask and demand for our salary based on what is on ground. I think the case would have been okay by now. But you did not look at the inflation rate and you accepted 70,000 naira. At what premise? At what ground did you accept such a ridiculous amount? Most of these politicians are not saying that they are feeding their pet, their dog, the cat and rat in their house with that ridiculous amount. And you accepted that. You now want to say, okay, since 2008, you want a review. How do you get such review? When you want to get a review, please you make your case genuinely. As my elders used to say, they say what is what's doing well. It's better you don't start doing what you are doing than for you to start doing it and then you put yourself in a state of regret. I think it's high time that Nigerians should grab the bull by the horn and do the needful. That is my take in that regard, my brother.
All right, as we begin to wind down, now let's go into politics basically now, because 2027 is around the corner. 2026 here in Ekiti State is also around the corner. And last Saturday, there were by-elections in 12 states of the Federation, and APC won majority of these by-elections. And many have said that, many have projected that the outcomes of this by-election will probably be what the 2027 would look like. What do you say to that?
You know one thing I realized in the whole thing? Me, Gabriel Adodun, I did not bank my trust in INEC anymore.
Why?
I did not bank my trust on the INEC of the electorate also. Because in Nigeria is the only country. Hello, are you still there?
Yes, I'm with you.
Hello, Doyin.
I'm with you. Please go ahead. I'm with you.
Yeah. It's only in Nigeria that you want to change, and then you don't want to change your attitude towards making the change possible. You, as electorate, you must to the polling unit and then cast your votes and receive money. And the INEC on the other way around will now do their own. And so many things on social media, and Tony have begun to look for this nation. Let me tell you, If anybody is telling you that Nigeria is going to have a change, I think that person is dreaming in the daytime. Because when you are sleeping and slumbering in the daytime, and then you are having a dream, it simply means that dream might not come through. Because when others are walking, you are busy sleeping. This nation is busy sleeping, dozing off on the same thing that we know how to do best. When you vote, when you subvert the will of your people by receiving a stipend, you collect 5,000 naira today, and that same 5,000 naira is not enough for you to purchase your essential commodities. Who is at the receiving end, Donny? I am not bothered with whatever our people are doing. What I am just bothered is how my children and my family and everybody is going to survive what we've been able to call upon ourselves. Donny, I am not happy. We have not learned. INEC is not ready to do the needful. And then maybe the country is just continue in that trend. And whenever we find ourselves, then we'll have ourselves to blame in the next generation.
All right. Thank you so much. We're out of time now. We just need to wrap up. Thank you once again, Mr. Gabriel Abiodun, Public Affairs Analyst, for your time on the show this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you indeed. You're always welcome. And that's how far we can go on this morning's edition of the follow-up on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Ido Ekiti. Let's see if we can get a few more reactions, a few calls, 0704 700 7701 or 0707276678. That's the studio line to call this morning to react to most of the things that have been said. We've talked about governance in Ekiti State. We've mentioned how things, we've looked at some implications and some effect of some activities being carried out within the state government in the past few days. We've also taken it a step further to the federal government level when you look at the latest development as to the increment in salaries of political office holders. The president is now set to begin to have increased in salaries. Same goes for senators, ministers, and other political office holders. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you calling us from?
Candy from Kogi.
Please go ahead.
The thing I want to put mouth for increasement of the salary of political appointments. All those ministers, all those people that collect big money, then allowance, different type of allowance. Then secondly, they have opportunity to award different type of contract, billion out. All those things is money. At the end of the day, what are the workers now? Workers is 70,000 naira. At the end of the year, 77,000 multiplied by 12. How much? Okay, how much? At the end of the day, look Nigeria now. All those politicians, they want to kill Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Kende, from for your call there. And let's pick this one final one. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is Mr. from Ikolekiti.
Please go ahead.
I want to comment briefly on Governor Oyebanji's cabinet reshuffling that is generating some rancor in Ekiti. I think it is the prerogative power of the governor to do that. And Ekiti State is not the first and the last that will do that.
Right.
Even when you have served in a cabinet for 1 year, you are good to go. Let other people or person come into that system.
All right.
Then secondly, the politicians do not admire, they do not agree with 99.9% loyalism. They agree with 100%. So if the governor or your principal discover that you are not trying to be loyal, you can leave the system. So
All
it's
right.
not a taboo.
All right.
Leave the governor alone.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much for your contribution there. And that's how much we can take. Apologies, we can't speak for the cause because we're totally out of time. And that's the show for this week. The follow-up on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Ido Ekiti. It returns again next week. My name is Oladoyin Ayegbusi. Again, special shout out to my daddy, my big daddy, Mr. Adeoyi Adebayo Adekunle Benze, whose birthday is today. May you live long and enjoy plenty of good things on earth in Jesus' name. And that's how much we can take on this morning's edition of the follow-up again on Adamimogo 107.7 FM. The news at 12 returns in a while. Good morning and enjoy.